then the waiter said, "Enjoy your meal," and you said,
Stop it, I didn't realize he was standing right there.
I dropped my suitcase by the door, hearing the soft click of the lock behind me. Mira was in the kitchen, pretending like nothing had changed. "I can't believe you're really leaving tonight," she said, voice calm but fragile, the kind of fragile that made me want to break something. I signed the papers. "It's done," I replied, trying not to let my voice shake. She laughed softly, a bitter little laugh. "Done? Elias, marriage isn't just a signature on paper." "I know it's not. But it's over. You said it yourself." I swallowed the lump in my throat. "You don't love me anymore." Her eyes flicked away, and I could see it, the little spark of guilt she tried so hard to hide. "It's complicated." "Complicated?" I said, dropping onto the couch. "You've been planning this for months." "I found the messages, Mira. Don't lie to me." Her hand froze on the counter. "You weren't supposed to see that." You cheated on me." I yelled. My voice echoed through the empty house, a sound I didn't recognize as my own. "You left me for him." "For Rylan." She flinched. "It's not like that." "Not like that?" I scoffed. "You smiled while you hid it. You slept in our bed and whispered his name in your phone." Her mouth opened, then closed. Don't. I cut her off, heart hammering. "Just don't." Silence filled the space between us, thick and suffocating. I could hear the clock ticking on the wall like it was counting down my life with her. "I guess this is it," she whispered finally. "Yeah," I said, bitter. "This is it." I picked up my keys from the counter, feeling the weight of the past 3 years press down on me. Mira watched silently, eyes glossy, trying to convince herself she felt something. Maybe guilt. Maybe sadness. Maybe nothing. "You're not even looking at me," she said, voice small. "I'm looking at you," I said. "I just don't see the person I married anymore." Her lips trembled. "I didn't mean for it to happen like this." "Then why?" I asked softly, though my voice carried the edge of everything I'd felt this week: anger, hurt, disbelief. She looked away, twisting the ring on her finger. I don't know. I couldn't stay. I felt trapped." "You felt trapped?" I laughed bitterly. "I worked my ass off to give you everything. I never trapped you. I loved you." "I know," she said quietly. "I know you did." We didn't speak for a while after that. I could hear her breathing, shallow and uneven. My suitcase sat like a silent reminder that I was leaving, that the life we built was ending. Finally, I broke the silence. Aaron called. He said he'll help me move the last of the boxes tomorrow. "You told him already?" She shook her head. "No." I felt a flicker of something, relief, maybe. I didn't want anyone to interfere tonight. This was mine to survive. "I'll call him." I can't stay here anymore," I said, picking up the suitcase. "You're really going?" she asked, almost pleading. "Yes," I said. "I have to." She looked down at the counter, twisting her hands. "I thought, maybe, you'd fight for us." I stopped for a second, staring at her. You don't understand. Fighting for us means we both wanted the same thing. You don't want me. You want something else. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't want to hurt you. You already did, I said, voice breaking. Every lie, every secret, you broke me before this night. She swallowed, trying to nod, but her throat worked too hard. I never wanted it to end like this. I wanted us to last, I whispered. I loved you. I stopped. Words failed me. She stepped closer, hesitating. Elias. I shook my head, moving back toward the door. No. Don't. This is the last time. She began, voice cracking. I didn't turn back. The suitcase scraped against the floor as I walked through the hallway, past the living room where we'd laughed, past the photos where we looked happy, past everything we were and would never be again. At the door, I paused, hand on the knob. I hope you find what you're looking for, I said softly. But I'm done. I'm leaving. She stayed frozen, tears rolling down her cheeks. I didn't think you'd actually leave, she whispered. I did, I said, voice firm. Because I need to live, Mira. I need to breathe. And I can't do that here anymore. I opened the door and stepped into the cool night. The air smelled like rain and freedom, and for the first time in months, I felt a little lighter. She followed me to the doorway. Elias, please. I said no, I interrupted gently, closing the door behind me. I didn't look back as I walked down the steps, suitcase in hand. My phone buzzed with a message from Aaron, ready to kick this chapter out of your life? I smiled bitterly, then typed back, let's do it. The taxi waited at the curb, its engine humming softly. I lifted my suitcase into the trunk and slid into the back seat. Myra's face lingered in my mind, wet with tears, but I refused to let it control me. I thought of every lie, every hidden text, every empty I love you. Are you okay? Aaron asked when I spoke to him on the phone again. I nodded. I will be. I have to be. He chuckled softly. That's my boy. You're stronger than you think. I hope you're right, I whispered. I stared out the window at the streets passing by, at the lights that seemed to blur into streaks, at the life I was finally leaving behind. I'm done, I said to myself quietly. I am really done. The city stretched out ahead, full of unknowns, and for the first time, it didn't scare me. I exhaled and felt the tension in my chest loosen. Myra's betrayal would not define me. Not anymore. This was the end of something that had hurt me deeply, but it was also the beginning of everything I had yet to live. And I would survive. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at my phone like it held the answers I didn't want to see. Aaron's message had popped up hours ago, check this. You deserve the truth. Truth? I muttered. My hands shook as I opened the screenshots he'd sent me. Mira. Texting Rylan. Late at night. Smiling emojis, heart emojis, talking about us. I dropped the phone. My stomach twisted. No, this can't be real. Aaron's voice came through the speaker. It's real, man. I swear. I grabbed the phone again, scrolling. Each message was like a punch to the chest. She didn't just leave me. She was planning this. While I was working overtime. While I was thinking we were fine. She smiled at me knowing this was happening? Aaron said nothing, just waited. I didn't need him to talk. The silence let the anger build. She lied, I whispered. Every single day. Aaron finally spoke. She did. And she wanted you to never see it. I clenched my fists. How could she? How could anyone just plan this while pretending? I loved her. My voice cracked. I still love her, somehow. You're stronger than that, Elias. You just don't realize it yet, Aaron said softly. I shook my head. Stronger? I feel empty. Betrayed. Stupid. I gave her everything, Aaron. Everything. You can still take it back. Take your life back, he said. I laughed, bitter. Take it back? How do you take back 3 years of lies? By surviving, he said simply. By standing up. By not letting her break you. I thought about Mira smiling at me just last week. Pretending. I don't know if I can, I admitted. You can. You just don't know it yet. I stared at the ceiling, the room feeling smaller than ever. You saw the messages too, huh? Aaron sighed. Yeah. I wanted to warn you earlier, but I thought. I didn't want to ruin your head before you were ready. But you deserve to see it. I leaned back against the wall, phone heavy in my hands. I hate her. I hate her so much right now. But, my voice dropped. I don't want to feel like this forever. You won't, Aaron said. Promise me, Elias. Don't do anything stupid. Don't call her. Don't text her. Not yet. Let the anger simmer. Let it turn into something you can use. Use? I asked. Strength, he said. You're better than bitterness. You're better than hate. Don't forget that. I closed my eyes, thinking about the nights I cried alone on the couch, thinking about how I'd failed. And suddenly, a spark. Strength, I repeated softly. Yeah. Strength. Aaron's laugh was quiet but full of warmth. That's my boy. You'll rise from this, Elias. Trust me. I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I opened Myra's old photos on my phone. Her smiling face haunted me. The bright, fake smile that hid everything. I ran a hand through my hair. I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. I trusted her completely. You did. And that's not your fault, Aaron said. I scoffed. Not my fault? How is it not my fault if I didn't notice? If I let this happen? Because you loved her. And love doesn't come with a manual, Aaron replied. I swallowed hard. I thought we were happy. I really thought we were happy. And now, she's moving on. Already. Aaron hesitated. She is. But that's not your problem anymore. That's her consequences. Your problem is you. My fists clenched again. Consequences, I whispered. She should feel them. I want her to feel them. To see what it's like to lose someone who actually loved her. Aaron chuckled softly. Patience, man. That's why I told you to hold off. Let karma do its work. You focus on yourself first. You focus on rising. Let the universe handle the rest. I nodded slowly, taking a deep breath. Yeah. I guess I've been too weak. I've been waiting for something to happen to fix this. But nothing's going to fix this except me. I have to get stronger. Exactly, Aaron said. Now you're talking. I stared at the screenshots again, feeling the sharp edge of betrayal slowly turning into something else, something like fire. I can't believe she thought I'd just stay broken forever. I won't let her think that. I'll survive. I'll rise. Somehow. You will, Aaron said. And when you do, it'll be something she never saw coming. I laughed softly, bitter but satisfied. Yeah, she thought I'd crumble. She thought I'd stay miserable. Aaron said nothing, letting the silence carry my thoughts. I sat back against the wall, the phone resting on my knee, and whispered, "She doesn't get to do that anymore. Not to me. Not ever again." I could feel a faint sense of clarity forming inside me. Not happiness yet, not peace, but something stronger, determination. I need to rebuild, I said finally. I need to get my life back. I can't let this destroy me. Good. That's exactly it, Aaron said. Step by step. One day at a time. I nodded. One day at a time. For the first time since the divorce, I let myself think about the future. About what I could do. About who I could become. About a life where Myra's lies didn't matter anymore. Then, my phone buzzed again. Another message from Aaron, ready to start taking your life back? I smiled faintly, a real smile this time, not the kind Mira forced me to fake. Yeah, I whispered. I'm ready. I got up and paced the room. I'll start tomorrow, I said. I'll rebuild. I'll be stronger than she ever imagined. Aaron's voice came through the speaker one last time. That's my boy. And when you rise, she'll see it. She'll cry, and you won't even look back. I laughed quietly, shaking my head. She doesn't get to see me cry anymore. Not ever. I opened the window, letting the cool night air wash over me. I'll survive, I whispered. I'll rise. I won't let her win. And for the first time, I truly believed it. I woke up to the sound of my alarm, but instead of dread, there was relief. Strange, but real. The apartment was quiet, just me and my thoughts. I stretched and muttered to myself, all right, Elias. Time to start fixing this mess. Aaron's text buzzed, "Gym at 7? Don't bail." I groaned but typed back, wouldn't miss it for the world. By the time I got to the gym, Aaron was already there, stretching like he'd been waiting forever. Morning, man. Ready to lift your spirits along with your weights, he joked. Feels like lifting my life too, I muttered. Aaron raised an eyebrow. Big words for someone who's been curled up in a ball at home. I needed the ball phase, I admitted, smirking. It's mandatory after betrayal. He laughed. Mandatory, huh? Good to know. But now it's time for mandatory action. Let's move. We started lifting, and I realized how much I had neglected my body while drowning in thoughts about Mira. I forgot how good it feels to push myself, I said, catching my breath. Aaron nodded. Exactly. Physical strength helps mental strength. You'll see. Later, we grabbed smoothies at a small cafe nearby. I was scrolling through my phone when Aaron nudged me. Stop thinking about her for 5 seconds and look around. Life's still happening. I sighed but looked up. That's when I noticed her, Lena, a physical therapist from my gym. She waved awkwardly. Hi. Elias, right? I stood, a little surprised. Yeah, hi. I saw you at the gym earlier. You're really pushing yourself. Her smile was soft, genuine, not like Myra's. I chuckled nervously. Yeah, trying to keep up with a friend. Aaron elbowed me. See? People notice when you're doing better. And not just anyone notices. Pay attention. I frowned. I don't know if I'm ready for new people. New connections. Lena tilted her head. You don't have to rush anything. Just small steps. I nodded slowly. Small steps, right. That night, I cooked myself dinner for the first time in weeks. It was pathetic, burned a little, but it tasted like freedom. I muttered to myself, who knew I could survive without someone cooking for me? Aaron called. How's the domestic god of the apartment doing? Surviving, I said. Not thriving yet, but surviving counts. Big difference, he said. Big. Keep going. The next morning, I went to the gym again. Lena was there, helping someone stretch. I tried to look busy, but she waved. Hey, Elias. Want a quick stretch? She asked. I hesitated. Sure. Why not? As she guided me through some exercises, I realized I could trust her hands. She wasn't condescending. She wasn't pretending. She just helped. You're tense, she said softly. Yeah. Life's complicated, I admitted. She smiled without judgment. Life always is. But you're handling it better than most. I laughed quietly. Better than most? Maybe. Better than yesterday? Definitely not. Every step counts, she said. Even tiny ones. I nodded, thinking about Mira, about betrayal, about everything I'd lost. Tiny steps, I repeated. I can do tiny steps. Later, I ran into Aaron at the cafe again. So, someone's been noticing you, he said, smirking. Noticing me? I asked, confused. Lena, he said. The therapist. She seems interested. Or at least she thinks you're interesting. I rolled my eyes. Interest isn't on my agenda. Healing is. Healing and interest aren't mutually exclusive, man. You can survive and smile too. I stared at my coffee, thinking. For months, I'd been drowning in Myra's lies, in heartbreak, in rage. Now, I could see a little light. Tiny, but real. I don't know if I'm ready for anything else yet, I admitted. You're not ready, Aaron said. You're not supposed to be. But it's okay to let life happen around you while you heal. Later that day, Lena popped into the gym to check on someone. Hey, Elias. Everything okay? I shrugged. Yeah. Trying to breathe again. She laughed softly. Breathe. That's the first step. I thought about her words, and I realized she was right. I had been holding my breath for months. It was time to exhale. I guess. I'm learning, I said quietly. You're doing more than learning, she said. You're moving forward. I nodded. Forward. Right. Aaron caught up with me later. You look different, he said. Not just physically. You're lighter. Lighter? I repeated. Yeah. Anger, pain, it's still there, but it's controlled now. That's progress. I laughed softly. Control over anger feels strange. It feels like freedom, he said. That night, I sat on the balcony with a beer. The city lights blinked below, alive and indifferent. I thought about Mira, about Rylan, about everything I'd lost. But I didn't feel crushed anymore. I felt something else. I typed a text to Aaron, "I think I can do this." Tiny steps. He replied instantly, "That's my boy. Keep going." The next morning, I woke up before my alarm. I didn't feel dread. I felt cautious hope. I got dressed and headed to the gym, Lena already there, smiling softly. "Ready for another day?" she asked. I smiled, genuine this time. "Yeah. I think I am." Aaron nudged me. "See? Look at you. Tiny steps, Elias. You're learning how to breathe again." I took a deep breath, letting the air fill my lungs. Learning to breathe, again. And for the first time in months, it felt like more than survival. It felt like life. I hadn't expected to see Lena outside the gym, but there she was, waiting by the cafe across the street. "Hey, Elias. Fancy seeing you here," she said, smiling. I laughed, a little awkward. "Yeah. I didn't know you came this way." "I usually don't," she admitted. "But I thought I'd grab some coffee. Want to join?" I hesitated. Sure. Why not?" We ordered drinks and found a small table by the window. I fidgeted with my cup while she sipped hers quietly. "So, you're really working on yourself, huh?" she asked. I shrugged. "Trying to. It's slow. Messy. Painful at times." "Sounds familiar," she said softly. "But I think that's life sometimes." I looked at her and realized she wasn't judging me. She wasn't pitying me. She was just listening. "I don't know how to start over," I admitted. "I mean, after Mira, everything feels broken." Lena smiled faintly. "Starting over isn't easy. But maybe it's not about fixing what's broken. Maybe it's about finding what's still there, that you can build on." I frowned, thinking. Still there? What's left when someone lies to you, betrays you? She leaned forward. "You. That's what's left. You survived. You're standing. That's something most people can't do." I laughed quietly. Surviving doesn't feel like something to brag about. "It is," she said firmly. "I know it doesn't feel like it, but it is." I felt a warmth I hadn't felt in months. Not love, not yet, but something comforting. "You make it sound easy," I muttered. "It's not easy," she admitted. "But it's possible." We walked out of the cafe together, talking about everything and nothing. The city hummed around us, but for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel invisible. "You're easy to talk to," I said, a little shy. "I think that's because you actually listen to yourself too," she said. "You're aware of what's going on inside. Most people aren't." I chuckled. "Awareness doesn't make me happy. Just aware of pain." "Awareness is the first step toward healing," she said. "Trust me." I nodded slowly, thinking about Aaron's words, tiny steps. Maybe this was one of them. The next day at the gym, Lena approached me again. "Hey, I was wondering, do you want to join a small fitness class with me?" "Nothing crazy. Just stretching and mobility work." I hesitated. I don't usually do classes. It's casual. No pressure. And I think you'd benefit from it. Physically and mentally." "Mentally?" I repeated, raising an eyebrow. "Yeah," she said. "Talking helps, movement helps, and sometimes new people noticing you helps too. I laughed. Noticing me, huh? She smiled softly. In a good way. You're not invisible, Elias. You just forget that sometimes. I felt my chest tighten. I've forgotten a lot of things. That's okay, she said. That's why we take small steps. One day at a time. Later, I ran into Aaron at the cafe. So, new person noticed you, he asked, grinning. I don't know, I said, shrugging. She's nice. Genuine. Not like Mira. Not fake. Genuine is the key, Aaron said. Pay attention. Don't let the past blind you. I'm trying, I said. Trying to move forward. Trying to breathe again. Good, he said. Because life won't wait for you to catch up. I spent the next few days at the gym, noticing how Lena's presence changed things. She didn't pressure me, didn't demand attention. She just existed in a way that made me feel seen without trying. One evening, after the gym, she said, Hey, Elias, want to grab a smoothie? My treat. I hesitated. Yeah, okay. As we walked, I felt lighter than I had in months. Not happy, not yet, but lighter. The weight of betrayal wasn't crushing me all the time anymore. We sat at a small bench in the park, sipping smoothies. You're adjusting well, she said. I'm trying, I admitted. Some days feel impossible. Impossible days teach you more than easy ones, she said. You'll see. I smiled faintly. Maybe. I hope so. You will, she said confidently. You just don't realize it yet. I nodded, thinking about Mira, Rylan, and the lies that had poisoned my life. I can't believe she thought I'd never move on. People underestimate resilience, Lena said. They forget we can survive heartbreak, and then rise. I glanced at her, feeling a strange warmth in my chest. Not love, not yet, but hope. A small flicker, barely noticeable, but real. Aaron called me later that night. How's it going with the observant therapist? I laughed. She's different. I don't know how to explain it. She listens, she notices, it's nice. Nice, huh, he teased. Be careful, man. Tiny steps, remember? I know, I said, smiling softly. Tiny steps. That's all I'm taking right now. The next morning, I woke up feeling something I hadn't felt in months, anticipation instead of dread. I got dressed, grabbed my gym bag, and thought, maybe life isn't so broken after all. When I arrived, Lena was there, stretching and humming softly. Morning, Elias, she called. Morning, I replied. The words felt easy this time. Natural. You ready for another day? She asked. I nodded, a small smile tugging at my lips. Yeah. I think I am. Aaron watched from across the gym and raised his hand. Tiny steps, Elias. Keep going. I took a deep breath, feeling the air fill my lungs. Tiny steps, I repeated. Learning to breathe, again. And for the first time, it felt like moving forward wasn't just possible. It felt like life was waiting for me, ready to be seen, ready to be lived. I was sitting at my kitchen table, staring at the quiet apartment, when my phone buzzed. I didn't recognize the number. Elias? It's Mira. I froze. My hand tightened around the mug. Mira, what do you want? I need to talk. Please. Can we meet? Her voice was fragile, trembling. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to end like this. I took a deep breath, letting it out slowly. You didn't mean for it to end like this? Mira, you planned it. You left. You lied. You cheated. And now you're calling me months later? I know. I didn't expect it to go so wrong with Rylan, she said, voice cracking. I made mistakes. You made mistakes? I repeated, incredulous. Mira, you destroyed us. You destroyed me. That's not a mistake. That's betrayal. She sniffled. I know. I see it now. I never wanted to hurt you this much. I shook my head. Well, congratulations. You succeeded. Elias, please. No, I interrupted, standing. Don't. My voice was firm, steady. I can't do this. Not tonight. Not ever again. Her silence was loud. I thought maybe you'd forgive me, she whispered. I took a step closer to the door, hand on the knob. Forgive you? Mira. I don't even know if I want to see you ever again. You broke my trust completely. I'm hurting too, she said, tears falling. Rylan, he doesn't care about me. I was wrong. I swallowed hard. Do you think your pain makes up for what you did to me? She flinched. No. I know it doesn't. But I just wanted to talk. I shook my head again. Talking won't fix this. Words can't undo betrayal. I thought maybe you'd still love me, she admitted, voice trembling. I laughed softly, bitterly. Love you? Mira. I loved you more than I ever thought possible. And you spat on it. You replaced me. You smiled while hiding him. You thought I'd never notice. You thought I'd crumble. But guess what? I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still breathing. Her tears fell harder. I didn't know. I didn't expect. I'm sorry. I don't need your apologies, I said firmly. I don't want them. They're meaningless. You made your choices. Now live with them. Elias, please. Just give me one chance to explain. I shook my head again, harder this time. One chance? Mira, you had years. You had chances every day to be honest. And you weren't. You can't undo that. She hesitated, looking like she might beg again, but then something in her expression changed. Regret, pure and raw. I didn't think you'd actually move on. I thought you'd stay miserable. I swallowed, feeling a strange satisfaction mix with my pain. I did move on, I said softly. I'm not miserable. Not anymore. I'm living. And I'm learning how to breathe again. Without you. Her sobs filled the doorway. I love you. I never stopped. Stop, I said quietly but firmly. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to feel guilty. I don't want anything from you. She stumbled back, her hands shaking. Elias. I could see it in her eyes now. Real fear. Real regret. The woman who once smiled so confidently in my face was broken, desperate. I stepped out into the hallway, grabbing my jacket. I have to go, I said, voice calm. I have a life to live. A life you tried to destroy. And I won't let you ruin it any further. Elias, please, wait. I shook my head. No. I walked to the elevator, each step lighter than the last. Her voice followed me for a moment, pleading, broken, but I didn't turn around. I wouldn't. When I reached the street, my phone buzzed again. Aaron. You okay? He asked, immediately sensing something. I exhaled, leaning against a lamppost. Yeah, I'm okay. She called. Tried to come back. And? I smiled faintly. And I didn't let her in. I didn't even talk to her properly. I stood my ground. Good, he said. That's what I wanted to hear. How'd it feel? Strange, I admitted. Relief, mostly. And power. I felt power. That's progress, man, Aaron said. You didn't crumble. You didn't beg. You didn't take her back. That's strength. I nodded, thinking about Mira standing there, crying, desperate. I thought I'd still feel pain, hurt. But I feel something else. Calm. Control. Not joy, not hate, just control. That's better than anything, Aaron said. You're in charge now. You're writing your own story. I chuckled softly. Writing my own story feels good. Feels right. Exactly, he said. Keep it that way. I wandered down the street, the city lights blurry but comforting. She doesn't get to control me anymore, I whispered to myself. Not my thoughts. Not my feelings. Not my life. Aaron's voice was soft through the phone. You're free, Elias. You're stronger than she ever thought you were. I smiled faintly. I think I'm finally starting to understand that. That's the first real step, he said. The first test. And you passed. I stopped for a moment, taking it in. Myra's betrayal, her lies, her desperate attempt to come back, none of it could touch me anymore. I passed, I said softly, more to myself than anyone else. I can survive this. I can live without her. I am stronger. You've always been stronger, Aaron said. You just didn't see it yet. I laughed quietly, shaking my head. Maybe. But now I see it. And I won't forget it. The wind blew past, cool and real. I felt it on my face like a promise. No more looking back, I whispered. No more letting her in. No more weakness. Aaron chuckled. That's my boy. Now, go live your life. I will, I said, smiling faintly. I will. And she'll watch from the sidelines, crying while I keep moving forward. For the first time since the divorce, I felt complete control over my own life. Not anger, not revenge, control. And that was better than anything she could ever take from me. I woke up with a strange sense of peace. No ringing phones, no urgent texts, no reminders of betrayal. Just me. And for the first time in months, it felt possible to breathe. Aaron called, as usual, buzzing with his energy. Morning, man. Ready for another day of conquering life? I chuckled. Conquering life? Feels like a stretch, but, yeah. I'm ready. That's what I like to hear, he said. Small victories, Elias. That's how the big ones happen. I nodded, even though he couldn't see me. Small victories, right. Later, I stopped by the gym. Lena was there, stretching with a client. She looked up and smiled. Morning, Elias. Ready for mobility drills today? I nodded. Yeah. I'm ready. She raised an eyebrow. You don't sound very convinced. I'm convincing myself, I said, smiling faintly. She laughed softly. That's a start. During the session, she guided me carefully, correcting my posture, encouraging me gently. You're improving, she said. Notice that? I flexed, feeling muscles I hadn't used in months. Yeah. I think I am. Good, she said. Progress is progress, no matter how small. I caught myself staring at her hands, precise and confident. Not demanding, not fake, just competent. Real. Something I hadn't seen in years. Afterward, I thanked her. I appreciate your help. More than you know. She smiled warmly. You're welcome. I mean it. I like seeing you push yourself. It's inspiring. I felt heat rise to my cheeks. Inspiring? I muttered. You make it sound like I'm doing something extraordinary. You are, she said softly. Recovering from what you went through, that's extraordinary. I felt a pang in my chest. Recovering feels impossible sometimes. It's only impossible if you let it be, she said. But you're letting it. You're here, Elias. You're showing up. I nodded slowly. Showing up, yeah. I can do that. Later, I went to the cafe, needing coffee, needing something normal. Aaron met me there, grinning. How's the new you? I don't know, I admitted. Different. Lighter, maybe. But I feel like I'm finally moving forward. That's progress, man. Don't minimize it. I laughed quietly. Feels like everything is new again. Strange. Scary. But nice. Aaron leaned back. Nice is good. You've been stuck in misery too long. Time to taste life again. I nodded. Life tastes different now. Freer. I don't know how to explain it. You don't have to, he said. Just feel it. Enjoy it. That's the first step. As we walked back, my phone buzzed. A friend sent a screenshot, Mira and Rylan. Rumor had it Rylan was having serious problems at work, and Myra's social media posts were full of complaints about him. I stared at it, then laughed softly. She's unhappy? Aaron snorted. Don't gloat. Karma's working, Elias. That's all you need to know. I'm not gloating, I said, shaking my head. It's just interesting. Watching consequences unfold naturally. Exactly, he said. Focus on yourself. Don't let her chaos drag you back. That night, I went for a walk. The streets were quiet, lights reflecting off wet pavement. I thought about Mira, about the betrayal, about everything I'd lost. But this time, there was no anger, no pain consuming me. Just observation. Calm. Control. I called Lena. Hey, do you want to meet for a smoothie? Sure. I just finished work, she replied. Want to meet at the park? Perfect, I said. We sat on a bench, sipping smoothies. You seem different, she said. Lighter. I think I am, I admitted. I'm finally letting go of a lot of weight I've been carrying. That's great to hear, she said. It's not easy. No, it's not, I said, shaking my head. But it feels necessary. You're learning, she said softly. And that's important. Healing isn't instant. It's gradual. But you're doing it. I smiled faintly. Gradual, yeah. That works. Aaron's voice popped into my mind, repeating something he'd said days ago. Tiny steps, Elias. One day at a time. I whispered to myself, tiny steps, one day at a time. We talked for hours, about nothing and everything. Childhood memories, favorite movies, weird habits we both had. Laughter, light conversation, ease. I felt normal. Human. Alive. Later, Lena said, I'm glad you're seeing yourself again. You deserve it, Elias. I smiled, genuinely this time. Thanks. That means a lot. She shrugged. I mean it. Sometimes people don't notice themselves until someone else points it out. I'm noticing, I said softly. I'm finally noticing me. Walking back to my apartment, I felt the weight on my shoulders lessen. Myra's betrayal still existed, Ryland's interference still existed, but it wasn't controlling me. Not anymore. Aaron called again. So, the therapist noticed you? I laughed. Lena, she's different. Not fake, not judgmental. Just real. That's good, he said. You deserve that. And you're showing up for yourself too, right? Yes, I said firmly. I'm showing up. For me. For my life. Good, he said. Because that's what counts. Nothing else. That night, I sat on my balcony with a beer, city lights stretching below. I thought about my apartment, my life, my choices. I felt calm. Control. Power. Something I hadn't felt in years. I whispered to myself, I am stronger than I thought. I can handle this. I can live without her. Aaron's words echoed, you're writing your own story. And I finally believed it. I looked out at the city, the stars barely visible in the glow of streetlights, and smiled faintly. This is my life now. Mine to control. Mine to live. I felt free for the first time in months. Stronger than before, lighter than yesterday, capable of more than I realized. And for the first time, I was genuinely excited about the next step. It was a quiet Saturday afternoon when Lena called. Hey, want to go for a walk? I found a little park you might like. I hesitated. Sure. Why not? She laughed softly. You sound unsure. You'll survive a walk in the park, promise. Survival skills intact, I joked. We met at the edge of the park. Trees swayed in the breeze, and sunlight filtered through leaves, casting dappled shadows on the path. Lena smiled at me. It's peaceful here. Good place to think. Think or escape? I asked. Maybe both, she said softly. You've been through a lot. Sometimes thinking isn't enough, you need a little escape, too. I nodded. I guess I'm learning that. Slowly. We walked in silence for a few minutes, the kind of silence that felt easy, comfortable. Then she said, I'm proud of you, Elias. You're stronger than you know. I chuckled nervously. Stronger? You really mean that? Yes, she said. I see it. And it's impressive. I laughed softly. Impressive? Maybe. Or maybe I'm just stubborn. Stubborn can be good, she said. Especially when you've survived what you've survived. I glanced at her, realizing my heart was racing a little faster than usual. Yeah, surviving, but I'm also learning to live again. That's the point, she said. Not just surviving. Living. We reached a small clearing with a bench. We sat, and Lena looked at me, soft and sincere. You know, I've noticed something. You're not the same Elias from months ago. I hope not, I muttered. That guy was a wreck. She laughed quietly. Exactly. You've grown. You've changed. And you're open. Not afraid anymore. I swallowed hard, heart pounding. Open, maybe. But cautious. Cautious is fine, she said. Better than closed. We sat in silence again, sipping water. And then, out of nowhere, my phone buzzed. A notification from the bank. My apartment was finally fully in my name. I laughed softly. Freedom. Finally. That's huge, Lena said, smiling. Congrats. Thanks, I said, feeling a strange warmth. Feels good. Like a milestone. Aaron called later that evening. So, Independence Day, huh? I laughed. Yeah. I never thought I'd feel so alive over apartment papers. That's progress, man. That's exactly it. Celebrating wins, big or small. I guess so, I said. I'm feeling good. Better than I have in months. You earned it, Aaron said. You've been fighting every day. That counts. I nodded, thinking about Mira, Rylan, betrayal, heartbreak, and how far I'd come. I really am learning to live again. Step by step. Step by step, he echoed. Exactly. That night, I couldn't sleep. I thought about Lena, how she listened, how she noticed, how she wasn't fake, how she made me feel seen. Not like Mira. Not like anyone else in years. I picked up my phone and sent her a message. Hey, thanks for today. Really. For noticing. A few minutes later, her reply came, you're welcome. You're worth noticing. I smiled, heart fluttering. Not in panic. Not in fear. But in something warm, something new. Hope. The next weekend, Aaron dragged me to a friend's small dinner party. You need to see life outside your apartment, man. People, laughter, maybe someone interesting, he said, winking. I sighed. Interesting isn't on my agenda, Aaron. Sure it isn't, he said, laughing. But you might be surprised. At the party, I tried to blend in, half listening, half thinking about my progress. Lena was there too, she'd come with a friend. And for the first time, I wasn't tense around her. I could smile without overthinking, laugh without hesitation. Elias, she said, waving. Come join us. I nodded, walking over. Hey. Looks like everyone's having fun. We are, she said. But I wanted to see you. Me? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, she said softly. You're different. And I like seeing that. I felt a flutter in my chest. Different. I like that word. Better than broken. She laughed softly. Much better. Later, when everyone went outside to watch the stars, she pulled me aside. Elias, can I tell you something? Of course, I said, heart beating faster. I like seeing you happy. Seeing you free. You deserve it. And I want to be part of it. If you'll let me. I swallowed hard, emotions flooding. You want to be part of it? Yes, she said softly. I don't expect anything rushed. I want to be there as you move forward. I smiled faintly, feeling a weight lift. You really mean that? I do, she said, sincerity in her eyes. I took a deep breath. You know, I never thought I'd feel this. Not after Mira. Not after everything. Then don't think, she said gently. Just feel. I laughed softly. Okay. Just feel. And in that moment, surrounded by quiet stars, warm lights, and laughter in the distance, I realized something. I had survived betrayal. I had reclaimed my life. And now, I had the chance to create something new. Something honest. Something real. Something mine. I looked at Lena and said quietly, I want to try. I want to move forward, with you. Her smile was radiant. I'd like that. And in that moment, I felt a rush of peace. Not happiness, not complete, but the kind that comes from strength. Control. Survival. And hope. I realized life wasn't about waiting for others to change. It was about stepping forward. Claiming it. Breathing. Living. And for the first time, I knew I could do it. I was sitting at the cafe, waiting for Lena, sipping coffee, trying not to check my phone for the 100th time. My phone buzzed. Aaron. Elias. Big day today. Are you ready? He asked, grinning through the line. Big day? I repeated, confused. The day you officially announce your engagement. Or, at least, the news will leak, he said, teasing. I rolled my eyes. Leaking news? That's your specialty, isn't it? Maybe, he admitted. But trust me, seeing her reaction? Priceless. I frowned, thinking of Mira. The thought made my stomach tighten for a second, but then I reminded myself, she had her chance. I wasn't looking back. Not anymore. Confidence, Elias, Aaron said. You've earned it. Now show it. I took a deep breath, sipping my coffee, trying to calm the flutter in my chest. This wasn't about revenge. This was about closure. About showing her, and myself, that I had moved on. Lena arrived, smiling. Hey, she said softly. Hey, I replied, standing. Her hand brushed mine briefly, sending a warm, familiar spark through me. I smiled, genuine this time. You look happy, she said. I laughed quietly. Feels weirdly right. I haven't felt this in a long time. Well, it suits you, she said. We talked and laughed for a while, enjoying each other's company, when the door opened behind us. And there she was. Mira. Time slowed. She froze when she saw me. Her face went pale. For a moment, I saw the old confidence flicker and disappear. I smiled faintly, calm and composed. Not angry, not bitter. Just present. Alive. Mira, I said softly. Elias, she whispered, eyes wide. I nodded. Yes, it's me. And yes. I'm happy. Happier than I've been in years. She looked down, biting her lip. I didn't expect. I thought. You thought I'd crumble? I thought I'd stay miserable forever. I asked, voice steady. Her eyes filled with tears. I never thought. I didn't. Shoo, I said, holding up a hand. Don't say anything. You don't get to undo the past. You just watch. She looked up, desperation in her eyes. But I love you. I never stopped. I shook my head gently. No, Mira. That ship sailed months ago. I survived. I thrived. And now I'm living, not because of you, not because of anything you did. Because of me. Because I chose to move forward. Her lip trembled. I didn't mean to. I was selfish. I thought I could have everything, and I lost it. I took a deep breath, letting it out slowly. That's the difference between us. I faced pain, I felt betrayal, and I learned. I rebuilt. I moved forward. You're still in the same place you left me. Tears ran down her cheeks. I just wanted a second chance. I thought you'd still be mine. I shook my head, calm now, almost serene. I'm not yours, Mira. I never will be again. I'm mine. And I'm happy. She flinched, like my words cut through her. And her, she asked, voice cracking, nodding toward Lena. I glanced at Lena, smiling softly. Her? Lena is part of my life now. Part of my happiness. Not to replace the past, but to build my future. Myra's eyes widened, disbelief and regret mixing in a way I'd never seen. She's. Yes, I said gently. She's here because she sees me for me. Because she doesn't lie, cheat, or play games. Because she's real. And I chose her. I felt a strange calm watching her realization settle in. Not satisfaction. Not revenge. Just closure. I don't. I can't believe, Mira whispered. You can believe it, I said softly. Or you can leave. Either way, my life moves forward. With or without you. She blinked rapidly, swallowing. You really moved on. That fast? I laughed quietly, shaking my head. It didn't happen overnight. It took months. Pain. Struggle. Tiny steps. One day at a time. And now. I'm here. Myra's shoulders slumped. I didn't know. I never expected this. You shouldn't, I said. You didn't give me the chance to move on earlier. You left me broken. And I repaired myself. Without you. She took a step back, tears streaming. Elias. I'm sorry. I smiled softly, gentle but firm. I know. But sorry doesn't change the past. And I don't need it to. I've got my life. And she's part of it. Mira stared at Lena, then back at me, realizing fully that I had chosen happiness, real, genuine happiness. She flinched as the truth sank in. Elias, she whispered again. Goodbye, Mira, I said softly. Calm. Strong. I hope you find your way too. But I won't be waiting anymore. Not for you. Not for anyone who betrayed me. She shook her head slowly, sobbing. I didn't. Not your problem anymore, I said quietly, turning toward Lena. This is our moment. Mine and hers. Lena squeezed my hand, smiling warmly. Ready? I nodded. Ready. We walked out of the cafe together, side by side. Mira stayed inside, watching us leave. Her tears, regret, and disbelief were all she had left to hold on to. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The weight of betrayal had lifted, replaced by control, strength, and the promise of a life I could finally live on my own terms. Aaron's words echoed in my mind, tiny steps. One day at a time. You're writing your own story. I smiled faintly, feeling the sun warm on my face. I am, I whispered. I finally am. And as we stepped out into the street, Lena's hand in mine, I realized something powerful. I had survived. I had healed. I had moved on. And for the first time since the divorce, I was truly happy. Aaron called early that morning, buzzing with excitement. Elias. Today's the day. You're officially moving on. You ready to celebrate? I laughed softly. Celebrate, huh? I guess I am. But why the big hype? Because you earned it, man, he said. You survived betrayal, heartbreak, lies, and came out stronger. Today, we mark the victory. I smiled faintly. Victory sounds dramatic, but I guess it fits. By midday, we met at a small rooftop bar overlooking the city. The view was breathtaking, the sun dipping into shades of orange and gold. Aaron clapped me on the back. You see this? Life doesn't stop. And neither should you. I see it, I said quietly. Feels peaceful. Lena arrived shortly after, her smile bright, warm. Hey, she said softly. Hey, I replied, standing. Glad you came. Wouldn't miss it, she said. Today's about you. I laughed softly, heart fluttering. Today's about me, and celebrating moving on. Aaron waved at us. Exactly. Drinks first, heartfelt speeches later. We found a small table near the railing, glasses clinking, laughter floating in the air. I felt light. Freed from the weight of betrayal, from Myra's shadow, from everything that had held me back. So, tell me, Lena said softly, how does it feel to finally move forward? I thought for a moment. Feels like breathing again. Like I'm alive in a way I forgot I could be. Free. In control. That's beautiful, she said quietly. I shrugged, smiling faintly. Not beautiful. Just necessary. Aaron leaned in. Necessary, yes. But beautiful too. Seeing you here, laughing, alive, it's inspiring. Alive, I muttered, thinking. Feels like I've been trapped for years. And now, I'm free. Lena reached across the table, gently touching my hand. You earned this. You worked for it. And now you get to enjoy it. I smiled softly, feeling warmth spread through me. Enjoying it feels strange. But good. Real good. Aaron laughed. Strange is part of the process, my friend. But I promise, it gets easier. I nodded, watching the city lights flicker below. Easier. I think I can handle that. Step by step. As the evening went on, friends joined us. Toasts were made. Laughter echoed. Music played softly in the background. I caught glimpses of Lena watching me, smiling, and felt a strange contentment, peaceful, happy, real. At one point, Aaron nudged me. Look around. You did this. Not anyone else. You survived, rebuilt, and now you thrive. I nodded slowly. Thriving, yeah. I like that word. Not just surviving. Thriving. Living. Lena leaned closer. You look different too. Confident. Calm. In control. It suits you. I laughed quietly. Control, it's a good feeling. I never realized how much I needed it until I got it. Aaron smirked. Told you. Tiny steps, remember? Tiny steps, I repeated, smiling. One day at a time. And now, this feels like a milestone. As the sun set completely, painting the sky in deep reds and purples, I felt a presence beside me. Lena squeezed my hand. You deserve this happiness. Don't let anyone take it away. I won't, I said firmly. Not Mira. Not Rylan. Not anyone. She smiled softly. Good. Because it's yours. Fully. I raised my glass. To moving on. To survival. To life. To life. Lena and Aaron echoed. I laughed, taking a sip. The warmth of the drink spread through me, but deeper than that was the warmth of control, freedom, and the knowledge that I had reclaimed my life. Aaron leaned back, grinning. See? This is what it looks like. Victory tastes sweet, Elias. I chuckled. Sweet indeed. Strange. I thought it would be bitter. But it's satisfying. Real. Lena smiled, brushing her hair behind her ear. You've earned it. Every step, every struggle, it brought you here. I felt my chest tighten. Yeah, every step. I'm proud of myself. I think I finally can be. Aaron raised his glass again. And don't forget, there's more life ahead. More happiness. More tiny steps. I laughed softly. Tiny steps. One day at a time. That's the mantra now. The evening passed in laughter, stories, and quiet moments of reflection. I realized how far I had come, from a man crushed by betrayal, broken by lies, haunted by the past, to someone capable of joy, love, and hope. At one point, Lena leaned closer. Do you feel it? The change? The freedom? I nodded, taking her hand. I do. It's incredible. I never thought I could feel this way again. You deserve it, she said softly. I know, I admitted. I earned it. And I won't waste it. Aaron nudged me again. See? This is what it's all about. Living. Thriving. Choosing happiness. I smiled, looking at Lena and then at Aaron. Choosing happiness, yeah. That's exactly it. As the night wore on, the city below twinkling like stars scattered across the ground, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. Mira, Rylan, the betrayals, they were all behind me now. Nothing could reach me anymore. I leaned back in my chair, glancing at Lena. This feels like the start of something real. Not just surviving. Not just coping. Living. Truly living. She smiled, squeezing my hand gently. And I'll be right here. Every step. I nodded slowly, heart full. Every step, together. Aaron raised his glass one last time. To the man who refused to be broken. To life, happiness, and tiny steps. I laughed, clinking my glass with both of them. To life. And in that moment, I felt it fully: control, freedom, love, and the joy of moving on. For the first time, I realized I didn't just survive. I had conquered. And it was beautiful. The morning sunlight spilled through the blinds, warm and golden. I stretched, feeling a rare calm in my chest. No tension, no dread, no shadows of the past. Just me, awake, alive. Aaron called almost immediately. "Morning, Elias. Big day today, huh?" I smiled. Big day indeed. But it feels different this time. Calm. Right. That's the feeling of control, my friend, he said, grinning. You've earned it. Time to step into your future. I laughed softly. Future feels possible. That's the spirit, he said. And Lena? She's here, I admitted. Anne. I think she's part of it. My future, I mean. Good. Very good. You're ready, Aaron said. Just remember, tiny steps. I hung up, feeling the familiar flutter of excitement. Today wasn't about anyone else. Not Mira, not Rylan. Not the past. Today was mine. Lena arrived at my apartment, smiling warmly. Ready for the day? I think so, I said. It feels right. She took my hand gently. It is right. You've earned every step here. I squeezed her hand, smiling. Thanks for everything. For noticing, for listening, for being real. She smiled faintly. I told you, I'm here for the real you. Always. We walked through the city streets together, side by side, feeling the hum of life around us. I noticed everything: the sounds of traffic, laughter from a nearby cafe, the crisp winter air. And for the first time in months, everything felt vibrant. Alive. Mine. We reached a small florist. Lena paused. I want you to pick something for today, she said softly. For? I asked. For you. A symbol. A step. A new beginning. I scanned the flowers, colors bright and vivid. I chose a small bouquet of yellow tulips. These feel hopeful, I said quietly. Perfect, Lena said, smiling. Hope is exactly what you need right now. Later, we stopped by a small, quiet restaurant. The table was set, sunlight filtering through the windows. I took a deep breath. Today, there would be no distractions, no shadows, no whispers of the past. Aaron's voice buzzed in my ear. You ready, man? Ready, I said softly, heart steady. Calm, steady, ready. We sat down, Lena beside me. You okay? She asked, squeezing my hand. I am, I said. More than I've been in months. This is my moment. A waiter approached with a small tray. Congratulations, sir, he said, placing a small box on the table. I opened it slowly, revealing a simple, elegant ring. My breath caught. Lena looked at me, eyes soft, smiling. Elias. I swallowed, voice steady. Lena. I never thought I'd feel this, alive again. I never thought I'd trust love, happiness, and hope all at once. But I do, with you. And I want to step into the future, with you. Always. Tears welled in her eyes. Elias. I love you, I said quietly. I want to build life, laughter, everything with you. Her voice trembled. Yes, yes, Elias. I want that too. More than anything. I slipped the ring onto her finger, feeling the weight of it, not just a symbol of love, but of survival, resilience, and choice. Aaron's voice buzzed again. Boom. That's how it's done. I laughed softly, leaning back in my chair. It feels surreal. But perfect. Lena smiled, resting her head on my shoulder. We'll face the future together. Every step. Every step, I echoed, feeling the words settle deep in my chest. Tiny steps. One day at a time. And now, together. We left the restaurant hand in hand, walking through streets alive with life. I noticed everything, the colors, the sounds, the smell of fresh bread from a bakery. Everything felt richer, fuller. Aaron called one last time. So, how's the future feeling? I laughed softly. Bright. Clear. Mine. I feel alive, really alive, for the first time in years. That's what I wanted to hear, he said. You've claimed it. Own it, man. I will, I said. Completely. We stopped on a bridge overlooking the river. Lena looked at me, eyes shining. Do you ever think about them? Mira? The past? I shook my head. Not really. It's there, sure. A shadow, maybe. But it doesn't touch me anymore. I've moved on. I've chosen my path, my happiness, my life. That's good, she said softly. Because you deserve it. Fully. I know, I said. And I won't waste it. Not a second. Not a step. The wind blew softly, carrying warmth and promise. I felt strong. Independent. In control. Free. You're amazing, Lena said quietly, leaning closer. I'm proud of you. I smiled faintly, feeling a surge of emotion. I'm proud of myself too. Finally. After everything. I survived. I moved forward. And now. I get to live. Really live. She squeezed my hand. And I'll be right here. Every step. No going back, only forward. Only forward, I repeated, voice firm, heart steady. We're building our life together. Our happiness. Our future. We watched the sunset, the city glowing below us, and I felt it, the culmination of months of struggle, betrayal, heartbreak, and healing. Every step, every struggle, every tiny victory led here. No more looking back, I whispered. No more regrets. No more shadows. Only life. Only life, Lena echoed softly. I took her hand, heart full, mind clear. The future is mine. And I choose to live it, fully, freely, with you. She smiled, resting her head against my shoulder. And I choose it too. Aaron's distant laughter echoed in my mind, tiny steps, Elias. One day at a time. I laughed softly. One day at a time, I whispered. But now. I can see the whole path. And it's beautiful. I felt strength, control, and peace. Not anger. Not sadness. Not fear. Only life. Only us. And for the first time, I knew, without a doubt, that I was free. The past was behind me. The betrayal, the lies, the heartbreak, all gone. I had survived. I had healed. I had loved again. And the future was mine.